28年前の一家惨殺事件。
No, I did not.
収監されていたのは兄。
You killed him, right?
証言者は8歳の頃の自分だった。ゴーンガールの原作者が仕掛けた罠にあなたはまた打ちのめされる。
I lied.
ダークプレイス。
So were you familiar with the book prior to signing on to the project for Dark Places?
No, familiar with Gillian's work. I had read Sharp Objects and I really liked her voice. Adaptation was sent to me and I read the script and really loved it, and once I kind of decided that I wanted to do it, I went back and read the book, yeah.
At what point did you come on as the producer? Was that first or was it acting? Which part came first?
No, it was brought to me as a producer and as an actor, so that was kind of just, it kind of went hand in hand. Yeah, it's strange how that stuff kind of happens, because I don't produce everything that I do, but there was something about this that just felt kind of like it fit somehow in wanting to wear both of those hats.
And what was it like balancing between, being producer as well as an actor in the film?
For me, it really, at the end of the day, is all about being creative. I find it sometimes really helpful for myself as an actor because I can find myself overthinking process and content when I'm sitting in a trailer for too long, and it kills a little bit of that just kind of guttural reaction to material. And so I have found, in the time that I've produced, that when I have to deal with other things that force me to switch off, it actually makes me a better actor.
Great, so glad that worked out in this case. So what kind of interaction did you have with Gillian then for the project? Did you develop the character of Libby with her, in the film version, or what was your relationship with her?
The script really came to me written really well. Really, I thought that Gilles did a great job with it, and we worked on it a little bit. I know that he had spent a lot of time with Gillian, and I almost felt like I knew her through him. They had gone to Kansas and drove down the roads where the story took place and where she grew up, and he really wanted to embed himself in that kind of Kansas Americana, being French. I think he realized that was really important, and Gillian took him on that adventure. And so they spent a lot of time developing. I felt like we worked in a three-way triangle through him, and it wasn't until she came and did the cameo for a day that I actually met her on the film. She plays Lizzie Borden in the film. In the Kill Club, she sits with the axe. Camera kind of moves past her as I'm going in. And
didn't recognize her.
Yeah, she was really fun, and it was great that she was up for that. And I have a real affection for her. I have a real affection for her writing and appreciation and admiration for how she writes women. She has a voice that I think people are really reacting to in a positive way because it's really truthful, and of course I'm going to say Libby is my favorite character because I might be a little biased, but we've talked a lot about the creation of Libby and where she came from in her head and how fond she is of Libby. So we didn't spend that much time while making the movie, but in a weird way I felt very connected to her.
Going back a little bit to your relationship with Gillian, and is it Gilles?
Gilles.
Gilles?
Yeah.
What was it like to work with Gilles as, a French director doing this very kind of, like you said, Americana film?
Yeah, I've always found it the true beauty of filmmaking, and that is that good storytelling, crosses borders and languages, and it really is not specific to countries. It really is about telling stories about people, and that anybody can do that. You have to be due diligent and understanding that there's homework to be done and things to be understood, but I was very excited to work with him because something in this story connected for him, and I felt that when I met him and the passion that he had and how he wrote the script, and there was no denying that he was connected to this material, and that's really what you're hoping for. He was just really it was impressive. He shot this movie in 25 days, and it's a lot of movie. It's a lot of movie to shoot in 25 days, and he did it in a way that the movie feels like it has scope, and and grandeur about it, and that's hard to accomplish, you know. And so I'm impressed by that, and I'm really impressed with the movie that we ended up with.
Yeah, it's great. I just saw it.
In many ways, like, the stuff with him is maybe my favorite stuff in the movie, because there is such a great dynamic, and the guy that you have a memory of as a child, and you're not quite sure if you were the one who villainized him or if he actually really villainized himself, and the fear of that you might have caused his life to be what it is, life imprisonment. And so there's all of these things that kind of come into play. And I think there's a lot of anger just purely from a place of fear when she sees him. I think those scenes were some of my favorite to shoot with him. Just as an actor, they were just really fun to shoot.
Did you have any interaction with like Christina Hendricks and the other cast who, obviously as a producer, I'm assuming you did, but I'm just curious what your interaction was there with the kind of younger versions of everyone in the cast?
Yeah, I mean, we in pre-production, when we were casting the film, and location scouting and figuring out where we were going to shoot it and what our rebates were and all of that stuff, you're so embedded in the logistics of making the movie, which is fun. It's like problem solving, and there's something in my experience of 20 years and understanding that there are certain ways that you can make movies and how they can kind of fit into a box, and I bring that to the table. And with someone like Gilles, who's only made a few movies, there was a really great relationship there as to, well, look, we can do this, you know, and by the way, this is an option. And we decided early on to get a cast that could kind of fall with us into that mode, and that was the only way to make the movie, was to get a cast together and a crew together that understood that we were kind of beast it. And Christina was definitely one of those actresses. I mean, the whole cast really kind of came to this movie, really being moved by the material and wanting to be a part of it, and willing to work really hard for very, very little money. And I'm really grateful to them, because the movie really is, at the end of the day, what it is because of that cast. And yeah, I think they're all phenomenal, and I'm just really glad to be in the movie with them.
ゴーンガール原作者が描く新たな事件。
I was 8 the night they were killed.
You and your family is very special, huge with the club.
Tell me about this club.
And we call it the Kill Club.
You guys need to get a life.
We're a serious-minded organization. Among our ranks are ex-cops, private. And your brother in jail going on 28 years. Ben is innocent, and we're...
If Ben is so innocent, why hasn't he tried to get out?
収監されていたのは兄。
I know you killed them. No, I did not.
証言者は8歳の頃の自分だった。
It was Ben. He killed him, right?
闇の中の記憶が事件を狂わせる。
Fascinating puzzle, a mystery with lots of different theories. 3 weeks' time, Ben's file will be shredded.
She wouldn't bother, lazy little liar. Come on, baby! Run!
I lied.
ダークプレイス